Good afternoon, Namaskar. My name is Anuj Karwara, and on behalf of Sony Live, I welcome you all to yet another exciting show launch. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us this afternoon. मैं आशा करता हूं कि आप जहां भी हैं, स्वस्थ हैं और सुरक्षित हैं. Now, we are less than a month away from our biggest national celebration, our Independence Day. And as we continue to remain in the safety of our homes during these challenging times, हम सुरक्षित भी हैं अपने देश की सीमाओं में, thanks to the tireless sacrifice of hundreds of thousands of soldiers at the borders. उनके परिश्रम और त्याग की कोई सीमा तो है नहीं, मगर उनकी बहादुरी के कुछ किस्से और कहानियों को लेकर उन्हें सम्मानित करते हुए सोनी लिव प्रस्तुत कर रहा है एक नया अनोखा शो अवरोध, जो आ रहा है सोनी लिव पर 31 जुलाई यानी 31st of July को. ये शो एक बेस्ट सेलर किताब इंडियाज मोस्ट फियरलेस पर आधारित है, which has documented some extraordinary tales of heroism our soldiers display in unthinkably hostile conditions and under grave provocation. And today, on this very, very special launch, we will meet the authors of the bestseller, the creators, and the cast, of course, of the much-awaited show Avrodh. So, सबसे पहले, I would like to invite on stage, on screen, Mr. Ashish Golwalkar, Head Content, Sony Entertainment Television and Digital Business, Sony Live. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Anuj. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today is a very important day. We are releasing one more original from on the app. Firstly, I'm meeting you all almost after a month. I think the last time we met was on 16th of June during the press meet of our show, Your Honor, and a lot of action has happened post that. We've launched our app formally on 18th, and it's been received very well. The user interface, the user experience, the consumers are liking it. They're really loving the overall experience that they see on the app, and of course, we are also overwhelmed with the uh, very good response that we've received on two of our originals that are already gone live, a couple of films and the English content that you all have seen. So, Your Honor, Andeki particularly, I think has received really, a lot of love, and a lot of love from you all as well. So, thank you very, very much. We are, as we said, we are very new, and this kind of love, support, and constant feedback really helps us to improve and bring more stories. We at Sony Live, we are committed to bring stories of India, stories that are intellectually stimulating, that are authentic and indigenous. And with that thing in mind, we are presenting shows. So far, you've seen two. The third one is now coming on screens very soon. Um, the two previous originals from Sony Live have received outstanding reviews, and we are very excited to present one more indigenous show that's Avrodh. Even though you all know about this incidents, this mission, but we want to tell you the stories, the facts, and the details behind this. So we are very proud to present Avrodh, the story about this landmark mission that the Indian Army has kind of achieved. Avrodh's story is based on a covert mission that was tasked to the Indian Army as a response to the Uri attack in September 2016. The show is based on chapter we don't really know fear from the author, journalist Rahul and Shiv Rahul Singh and Shiv Arur. You all know it's a bestseller. And this book actually was released in 2017. It was a bestseller then. Hence, all the as I said, the entire information, because it's based on a book, is authentic and credible. Avrodh is actually produced by Applause. I'll come to Applause in a while, along with some Samar Khan's Irada Entertainment. The 9-episode series goes live from 31st of July 2020. It will be available for viewing only in India currently. soon it will be available all over the world. Avrodh actually, it presents a detailed account of the surgical strike. The show celebrates the supremacy of and the resilience of Indian Army. Staying close to the narrative, most of the show has got shot in Jammu and Kashmir, so you will see, the entire action in the real locales. The trailer, is already live and it's doing extremely. I mean, we've got some really good response on the trailer. So thank you very much to the viewers and especially to you all. Lastly, the most important thing, I think this is our third show with Applause Entertainment. The first one being Your Honor. The second one was Andeki, which I said is really receiving, some really great love. And now Avrodh. We are very happy to, partner with Applause under the leadership of Mr. Sameer Nair. I think they've really put together some great stories, great shows, and I think going forward you will see many more coming from Applause on Sony Live. With that, the details of what the show is all about. We have like the entire cast, the technicians, the writers, even the showrunners is with us. So, I'll not take much time. Thank you very much. But before, you interact with them, I would like to trigger, as they say in the virtual conference, the trailer for Avrodh. Over to you, Anuj. Please trigger the trailer.
इतिहास रातों रात रचा नहीं जाता और उसके कई पहलू हम तक पहुंच नहीं पाते। उरी सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक्स के बारे में हर हिंदुस्तानी जानता है और उसके पीछे की असली कहानी हिंदुस्तान को जानना अब भी बाकी है। दुनिया को ये तो दिखा दें कि इंडिया सिर्फ महात्मा का देश नहीं है, बल्कि सुभाष चंद्र बोस का देश भी है। जैश-ए मोहम्मद का सर काटने का इससे अच्छा मौका नहीं मिलेगा। हमसे ज्यादा उन्हें खबर है हमारे कैंप की।
आपका कोई भी सीक्रेट मिशन दूसरे देशों से हमारे रिश्ते खराब कर सकता है।
सर, वक्त आ गया है कि हम उनसे उन्हीं की जुबान में बात करें।
लेकिन इस जवाब का वक्त और तरीका हम चुनेंगे।
Boys, let's make history tonight. Are you ready? Yes, sir.
हमारे 40 से 50 जवान बॉर्डर के उस पार अपनी सांसें गिन रहे हैं। अगर उनमें से एक भी पकड़ा गया तो ना हम उस बात से मुखर पाएंगे और ना ही उसे बचा पाएंगे।
अबू हफीज को मारे बिना हम इस स्ट्राइक को जस्टिफाई नहीं कर पाएंगे।
Avrodh, streaming from 31st July on Sony Live.
What an absolutely explosive trailer. We cannot wait. And yes, 31st of July on a Sony Live app near you, Avrodh will come on. Wonderful. Congratulations to the entire team. Of course, Ashish sir, thank you so much for laying the ground for us and giving us a little taste into what Sony Live 2.0 is also going to bring up now. After 3 exciting titles, 2 have already released with Your Honor and Andeki, and now we've got Avrodh coming up. So after that, of course, explosive trailer, we're going to talk to the CEO of Applause Entertainment, who've, of course, got a 4-show deal with Sony Live, and out of which abhi ye teesra show aa raha hai, Avrodh. Mr. Sameer Nair, welcome, sir. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Anuj, and thank you, Ashish. We are really excited to be working with Sony. As Ashish said, we've already done 2 shows. Your Honor and Andeki, and this is our 3rd. And Avrodh is actually a really special show for us because, among all the variety of content that we've created, Avrodh is, the first time we've, done something with regard to homeland security, with regard to the armed forces, with regard to, national pride. And really, when Samar had come to us in December of 2017, and with this book, and we'd all read the book, but when he came in, he said, I want to tell this story. It was something we picked up immediately and greened it immediately, as in, let's get into it and do this. And then from there, it's been quite a journey, as the team got together, a writer's team was put together, and the whole story was fleshed out. I mean, Shiv and Rahul have written a very, very specific tale, and then we were able to take that and build a universe around it. And when you see the show, you will see a lot more to to what is going on here. And of course, then we've had the benefit of having both Shiv and Rahul and the armed forces guide us along the way to help us with regard to authenticity, to production detail, to things like that. And we've created a sort of what we call a sort of a politics meets armed forces meets media meets cross-border terrorism and society at large into a sort of a universe. And that's what Avrodh is. Avrodh, the word means the siege within, as in that in as much as we have enemies across this, from beyond our borders, we also have enemies and dangers within our borders. So it's turned out really well. I think Samar, really pulled this together. And Raj Acharya, our director, has, done a commendable job. He's got an amazing cast. And, some of them we'll meet today. You'll meet Madhurima, Amit, Darshan, Neeraj. There's also Anand. There's Vikram Gokhale. There's a whole bunch of characters. And it's been built out in quite an exciting way. We are really proud of it because, everyone knows the Uri story, or at least has heard of it. Everyone knows that we then proceeded to do a surgical strike back. But we've chosen to sort of breathe life into all of this and try and give a glimpse of what may have happened. Obviously, there's some degree of dramatization and some degree of fictionalization, but we are excited. We are happy for this to release on the 31st. We are happy it's coming on Sony. And this is the period for it, August 15th and Independence Day and all of that. So thank you very much. And I really hope you guys like it.
Thank you, Mr. Samir. Once again, congratulations. We had Your Honor, Andekhi, and Avrodh, now 3 completely different shows. And now I can't even, of course, wait for what the 4th is going to be like and the future that is to come. Of course, our director, the show director, Mr. Raj Acharya, couldn't join us today. We have now Mr. Samar Khan, who is the showrunner of Avrodh, and he's going to take us through what points the audience can discover, what the challenges were to shoot for a show with the scale and the complexities that Avrodh was. So, Samarji, welcome, and take us through what the experience was like.
Thank you, Anuj. It's a really, really, really special day today because, it's time now for something that we have nurtured for so long, and we have really, really worked hard for it to go to the public. It's going to go out in the next 6 days. And I really want to thank Sony Live and, Ashish for the confidence that they've shown in taking this show and partnering with Applause. And the show would have not been made if Samir sir and the team at Applause had not shown the confidence that we can pull something like this off, and with the kind of scale that we wanted to pull it off. Because at the end of the day, one of the things that I have always found lacking in a lot of content out there is the scale and the authenticity that a story like this or something to do with the army deserves. So thank you, team Applause. Deepak Sehgal sir, Priya, who worked with us to put this together. Without them, it would have not been made. And Raj Acharya, the director, the cast. I mean, these guys have been tigers like Amit and Darshan, Madhurima. The other boys who played part, Neeraj sir, Anand Mahadevan, Vikram Gokhale, and they were all. The best part about the show was that all of them believed in the story and all of them wanted to tell the story. So that really, really made our job much simpler. What we have done essentially with this and taken the story from Shiv and Rahul, and it took me a little convincing to convince them to give us the story for us to tell this story, because it's a very special story. It's the only official account of really what happened at the Uri surgical strikes, and it's Major Mike Tango who gave that interview to Rahul and Shiv, and those were the words that we put together and made them into pictures. The one thing that I would want the audiences to know is that we have what's always fascinated me about a lot of content that I have seen internationally is how they are able to create a world of around just an event. It's not just an event. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff that happens in political quarters, in the planning stage, in implementation, and all of that goes into making an event. And we were able to, with the help of the writers who Harman Singha and Sudeep and Akash Khurana, who worked on the script with us, to be able to create that world. And we were able to take Shiv and Rahul through it and get their inputs onto it and create that world around. So what you will see in the show is not just the strike. It's about what happened before. How did they plan? What were the problems they faced? How did they implement it? And all of that, I think, makes it for very compelling viewing. And I'm honestly very proud of the show, and I've done a lot of content. I am doing a lot of other content. But this is a show I'm genuinely proud of, and I really want people to watch the show because you will get to see the hardships that our soldiers go through, and the dramatic story of wow, this really happened. Oh, how wow, this is how they plan to do it. So it's got all of that, and it's got some great cast. It's got some great acting, and we managed to capture a lot of the stuff. And the army was very helpful to us. They gave us a lot of assistance. So we've been able to build it up and scale it up to a level where we think that the action and the stuff that we have done, will be an experience for the audiences. So it's coming on 31st of July on Sony Live. So please watch it. We're really proud of it, and we hope everybody who sees it is also proud of our armed forces and what they managed to achieve, under such trying conditions. Thank you guys for giving me the time to speak and share these experiences with you.
Thank you, Mr. Summer. My God, I think if my excitement levels are already shooting through the roof after watching that trailer, after hearing you talk about all that went through in putting this entire show together, they've just touched the skies and going through. And these are, of course, real life stories, real life heroes. These are stories of their adventures and, really the duty that they have done to protect the nation, continue to do so. And what set the ball rolling was, of course, two wordsmiths coming together to document all of the tales of these real life heroes. And these are renowned and acclaimed journalists in their own right. And then they created this book. They documented all these stories painstakingly and put together a book which went on to become a bestseller. And then Sony Live now has converted it or adapted it into a show, Avrodh, which is coming out on the 31st of July. So let's talk to these two fantastic journalists, wordsmith authors of India's Most Fearless. That's the bestseller book, which set the whole ball rolling. Mr. Shiv Arur and Mr. Rahul Singh, welcome to the show launch of the show that is based on your book.
Well, it's a great pleasure to be here, and it's a surreal experience for Rahul and me both as authors of this book. And as the previous speakers have said, the India's Most Fearless account of the surgical strikes is the only first-hand account by the actual officer who led the strikes. The officer who's sort of entered the world of legend now. Rahul and I happen to be the only journalists who've actually met him. Rahul will tell you a little bit more about that experience, but it's been incredible. Over multiple meetings, it first of all took a while for Rahul and me to convince the army to trust us with the story. Of course, it's a highly sensitive story where, there were uncharted territories. There were things that, could betray secrets, and therefore it had to be handled very, very carefully. But once Rahul and I were finally permitted to meet with Major Mike Tango, and we've called him Major Mike Tango because obviously, his identity has to remain in the shadows. It was an incredible series of conversations. Rahul, you remember those conversations? They happened in a basement of a government building. At least the first of those happened there.
Yeah, hi. Shiv and I are really proud and looking forward to Avrodh. And like Shiv was telling you, we are the only two journalists who've had access to Mike Tango. And even after, we were permitted by the government and the armed forces to speak with the Mike Tango about how long and how much we had to convince Mike Tango to reveal his story. He was very reticent about it, very guarded about what he had done. He was not looking to get into the limelight or anything. So convincing him to tell us his story is a story in itself. And what we have in the book is what is now being adapted into a different format, which is Avrodh. And we are so glad that stories of these nameless, faceless warriors who carry out hundreds of missions every day in different parts in different parts of J&K, Northeast, is finally coming to screen.
It's actually a really incredible experience because once the story was written, once our account of the surgical strikes was written, we were quite anxious about what would happen to the story. It would get picked up. But once we learned that it was Samar who had taken this up and had shown such keen interest in it, I think there was a great deal of trust, because we know Samar, we know how he regards the armed forces. When we heard about the cast as well, we were very excited, because these are all people who are sensitive about the armed forces, care about the sensitivities surrounding operations like these. So it was with a great deal of heart and happiness that we have traced this journey since 2017, and are very excited to see that it is finally coming out now. And this just to second what Samar earlier said, there is a huge amount of excitement within the army. We all know that these are difficult times. There are operational events that are happening in the country right now regarding the army, but there's a great deal of excitement, because there is a recognition that the story that we have told is authentic, it's detailed, it's fact-based. It doesn't look to sensationalize anything. And like the previous speakers have said, it's not just about the strike, not just about the action, but also about the background, what went into making this such a successful operation, which in many ways is equally, if not more excitement. So Rahul joins me in thanking everyone for their support, and we're really, really looking forward to what people think of Avrodh.
Thank you, Mr. Shiv. Thank you, Mr. Rahul, for sharing all of that with us. And I know everybody is waiting कि हम कास्ट से कब मिलें, तो अभी मैं आपको मिलवाने जा रहा हूं, लेकिन उससे पहले मैं आपको ये भी बता दूं कि अगर आप सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं, if you'd like to ask questions to our creators, our cast, the entire team, तो आपको जहां ये स्क्रीन दिख रही है उसके बॉटम राइट कॉर्नर पे आपको एक चैट बॉक्स दिखेगा, उसमें अपना क्वेश्चन प्लीज टाइप कीजिए, प्लीज, एंड ऑल्सो प्लीज टाइप योर नेम एंड एड्रेस इट एंड who you would like the question to be addressed to, and I will take up those questions on the panel and ask the relevant person, and hopefully you will get the answer there. So filhal, without much further ado, may I please invite on to the screen the fantastic cast of this explosive show Avrodh, coming up on 31st July. Please welcome with a huge round of applause Amit Sadh, Madhurima Tuli, Darshan Kumar, and Mr. Neeraj Kabi. Welcome. Thank you so much. Congratulations on Avrodh. I can't absolutely wait to watch what all of you have created. Of course, Amit will be joining us very shortly. वो character में इतना घुस गए थे कि अभी character से निकलते हुए थोड़ा सा उनको वक्त लग रहा है. So he's going to be with us in a few minutes. But let's talk. Neeraj sir, let's begin with you. आप बताइए, how was it working on Avrodh as opposed to the other characters that you've done? Is this yet another textbook of how to play a character?
Well, it's very interesting, the character that I play. Each character that I've played has been varied, and all of them have been interesting to me. But Avrodh especially is about the journey of a slightly elderly gentleman who is there in he's the National Security Advisor to the Prime Minister. And this is a beautiful series that the character goes through certain moral dilemmas while he's on duty. And there is the intelligence, there is the government state policy, and there is the Indian Army on the field. So he's the man who has to coordinate all this and yet convince all these agencies to take action on what he wants to. He was very a prime figure in the Operation All Out at a particular time of the government, where he actually took an offensive stance. That was a very great stance. And I've enjoyed doing this because the whole characterization is different. So to say that he's playing a slightly elderly man. So there is a sense of a slowing down of what he does. There is immense intelligence that he is blessed with. He's a decision maker. He's almost like a leader on the front, and he leads everything on there. So he's playing a very prime role where anything that he says cannot go wrong. So, there are many nuances that one has added to the character, and one enjoyed playing this, even the physicality of it, which you will see. I don't want to mention too much about it, but you will see that in the series. And he's a person who's constantly involved in certain traits that define him very, very clearly. And I don't want to reveal these traits right away. So that's how he is.
All right. Well, I guess all of that will unfold on the 31st of July. But thank you so much for sharing that with us. Darshan, let me ask you, what was the most challenging part of this filming experience, with your character? And tell us a little bit more about what you play.
I'm playing Major Honor Gotham, who's a mixed emotion of, like you can say like Major Honor Gotham, he's like a common man. He has he's like a family man. But जो सितंबर में कुछ जो हमारे साथ जो हम जैसे कि हम जानते हैं कि उरी में जो अटैक हुआ था, उसके बाद ही लॉस्ट हिज वन ऑफ हिज डियर फ्रेंड, और उसके बाद कैसे इसकी लाइफ चेंज हो जाती है और वो कैसे इस मिशन का पार्ट बनना चाहता है, जो स्पेशल मिशन जो आज ऐतिहासिक बन चुका है वो किया गया, और कैसे उसको पार्ट करके वो वहां पहुंचता है एवेंज लेने के लिए. एंड सो he is very emotional about the incident and about the whatever happened, to get pride of his country. So I think ये बहुत ही roller coaster ride है as an actor, because बहुत कुछ घटता है इसकी लाइफ में जो वो कोशिश करता है कि उसे हैंडल करने की, और किस तरह वो हैंडल करता है सिचुएशंस को और अपने देश की प्राइड वापस लाता है, वो ये मेजर ऑनर गौतम की स्टोरी.
Wonderful. Thank you. And, एक अलग ही sense of pride there is to, don a uniform and, of course, get into the shoes of the real life heroes out there. So, काफी एक experience रहा होगा वो.
बहुत कमाल रहा. Actually, मैं कहना चाहूँगा यही स्टार्ट हुआ हमारा बूट कैंप से, जो बहुत रिग्रेस रहा. ऑलमोस्ट मैं हर रात को 3 बजे उठता था, क्योंकि हमारी ट्रेनिंग स्टार्ट होती थी 4 to sharp 4 o'clock, जो मेजर मोहम्मद अली शाह ने कंडक्ट की थी, उनके साथ थी हमारी. और सो इट वाज रिग्रेस. उसमें हमने कैसे बॉडी लैंग्वेज होती है, कैसे आर्म्स को यूज किया जाता है, कैसे वो चलते हैं, मार्चिंग. और वो मार्चिंग मैंने कंटिन्यू रखी कम से कम 1.5-2 महीना. मैं वो जब बूट कैंप खत्म हो गया, उसके बाद भी मैं हर रोज सुबह जाता था जुहू बीच, और वो मार्चिंग करता था, कोशिश करता था बॉडी लैंग्वेज लाने के लिए. और उसके अलावा मुझे उन्होंने सजेस्ट किया था कि अगर चटाई पे सोओगे, चटाई पे सोने से आपकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज बहुत शार्प हो जाती है, बहुत ही फौजियों की तरह. तो जब तक ये शूट खत्म नहीं हुआ, ऑलमोस्ट 4 to 5 months में चटाई पे सोता था. इवन कश्मीर में भी ठंड पड़ती थी, लेकिन मैंने कुछ हल्का सा बिछा के कोशिश करता था कि वो फॉलो करूं मैं. लेकिन मुझे वो मोमेंट याद है जब पहला दिन मैंने शूट पे वर्दी पहनी थी. वो वर्दी पहनते ही जो फील आई थी वो कुछ अलग थी. इस वर्दी में जादू है. आई डोंट नो व्हाट. वो अपने आप वो जो बॉडी लैंग्वेज आती है, जो एटीट्यूड आता है अपने देश के लिए, अपने फैमिलीज के लिए, जो एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एक वो वर्दी के साथ आती है शोल्डर्स पे, वो कुछ अलग जादू कर जाती है. तो वो अभी भी मेरे रोंगटे खड़े हो रहे हैं. तो वो मैं वो एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकता वर्ड्स में. तो इट वाज अमेजिंग मोमेंट फॉर मी.
Wonderful. Congratulations on that experience. And Madhurima, आपसे मैं पूछना चाहूंगा कि सवाल तो मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ, लेकिन शो में आपने बहुत सवाल पूछे हैं. एज अ जर्नलिस्ट, यू प्ले द कैरेक्टर ऑफ अ जर्नलिस्ट. तो सवाल आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ कि सवाल पूछते हुए आपको कैसा लगा?
It was great to be on the other side. Honestly, I could learn a lot. मतलब मुझे कैरेक्टर के लिए nuances भी काफी कुछ सीखने को मिला जब मैं दूसरे साइड सवाल पूछ रही थी. But honestly, इस show में part लेना ही is like an honor, honestly, because we know that what our army men have been through in this entire journey, how they fought back. But also one of the most important part of the show is कि हमारी media. So it was a very crucial character. और कैसे ये सच जानना चाहती है, पर she was so persistent to know the truth and how she fights back. But in the end, वो कैसे she starts narrating the story, the entire strike, whatever has happened in her book. So that's the story of her. So and I'm the amalgamation of Shiv sir and Rahul sir in the show. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Neeraj sir, tell us, how was the experience of filming for a web series as opposed to a film? And any other medium of entertainment there?
the advantage of web series is that it gives you a much longer time space to create your character arc and to tell the story. A film just gives you 2 hours or less than that sometimes, and you have to say everything in that. A web series gives you a much longer space. So, when we read the script as actors, we make notes on them, we jot down points on them. And that gives us that huge space and time to figure out where we can put what nuances so that our characters come alive completely. We also get a lot of time to sink into what we want to become as a character, as opposed to who we are. It gives you that time. And I think it's very beneficial for the performer. It gives you a sense of belonging to the script because you're living with it for a very, very long time. And it also makes you very aware of where you began and where the journey will end, because it gives you a long space to do that for yourself. And that's what becomes very, very interesting doing a web series as opposed to a film. Of course, a film has its own benefits because the film is shot in different formats. In the web series, the formats are slightly more closer because you watch them on certain instruments that are mobile phones and such a smaller accessible instruments, but the film is watched on 70 mm. So the whole experience of it is, of course, something else and very, very different. Right. But yes, web series has these advantages, and I've been enjoying web series for a very, very long time now. And one is getting into the groove of what this is.
Wonderful. And of course, from time to time, you teach acting to aspiring actors. Aap workshops lete hain. So the whole experience of filming a web series, does that now add on to teaching the craft as you do?
It does, but not in a very, very big way, because web series or television or theater or the screen are just the mediums, but the performance techniques remain the same. The tools remain the same, but the methodology remains the same. It's just adapting yourself slightly to the medium that you're performing with. That's the only difference. But otherwise, the whole methodology is the same of creating the character.
Excellent. So, Madhurima, बताइए, what did you do to prep for your character? How was your preparation from the start when you were brought on board for Avrodh?
Honestly, I think journalism is a very, very difficult job, I would say. I think one wrong information out there and your job is at stake and your life is at risk. And I could learn all this while doing this show. And especially मैंने काफी reporters को देखा, especially Barkha Daji. I mean, she's my favorite, one of the favorites. And I saw the way she conveyed the message across the audience, and it was very, very nice. And that's how I started grooming myself. मैंने अपनी lines बार पढ़ती रही so that the fluency is there. Otherwise, the reporter has to be very, very adamant, straight, and without emotions. So it is a very difficult job, and still they have the emotions which they cannot show in front of the audience. So काफी difficult job it was very difficult, but I had a wonderful team. I think Raj sir, Samar sir, they guided me through the journey, and it was fantastic.
Excellent. Good luck. And we have Amit here. Apologies, we had a bit of a technical glitch, but Amit is logged in. And welcome, Amit, to the launch of Avrodh. Congratulations. बहुत excitement हो रहा है for 31st of July. We can't wait to watch you all on screen. And of course, tell us, playing a real life character, इतनी बड़ी जिम्मेदारी, what's happening in your mind right now?
First of all, hi Anuj, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Second, because we just got from Madhurima, where she spoke about her character and the research she did and the pains she went through to do her character. Not the best time, but I have to say, because I just heard her say it, she is one of my most favorite performances and characters in the series.
How sweet.
Three, thank you. You're welcome. It's true. 3, this is to the boss, Samin Nair. Sir, मैं कहीं नहीं गया था, मैं यहीं था. There was a technical problem. To all my seniors on this group, on this, I think we can call it webinar, to all my colleagues, to all the people that we have made this together, I am so excited that I'm getting speechless. And I'm just very happy we are here to present this and to talk about this to some people that we've been told who are on the other side. So I'm hopeful and hoping that there are people who are watching us and listening to us. And coming back, Anuj Bhai, for your question, we've been on this journey together with the writers, Shiv, Rahul, Applause, Sameer sir, and the entire team. Irada, Samar, my director, Raj, and our cast. You know, there are a few people who are not here who are as important, as crucial to what we do, to what we have done. And there was another part of the question which I still remember. Generally, when a movie or a this time, I think I and all of us are petrified and scared. We have researched. It's just that we are playing real parts. You know, we are not hero heroines. We are not. You know, we're not. We are playing real people from a real book, which has been documented very well, authenticated, about one of the biggest events of the Indian Armed Forces. So the scare is that have we researched enough? You know, the scare is will we touch the audience? Will we be authentic? We've put all that scare in the right channel and worked and put everything in it. But if you ask me, I'm like very, very scared. I just hope that all the hard work that has been put into this comes out, and while people enjoy this beautiful story, they also see that we've paid attention to be real in our characters. Like what Madhurima said, Neeraj sir plays, he's like, I love him. He's done such a great job. Darshan and me, we play different aspects. You know, Darshan is representing the army, you know, from a certain battalion, brigade. I am special forces. So we all are like different segments of the Indian like in the Indian intelligence. Like if there's a war bureau, you know, and that is what I think Avrodh is about. And I love what the way Sameer sir said, you know, that this is actually like a war specialist bureau series about what goes behind and in the forefront if there is kind of a strike back or if there is a response by the Indian Army or the Indian or the country.
Thank you, Amit. And I think all of us can feel the excitement. It's really resonating across the cyberverse right now, whoever is watching, and we're all waiting for Avrodh on 31st of July on a Sony Live app near you. So, Amit, we've got, of course, questions from our friends in the media and जो हमें देख रहे हैं फिलहाल, all our members of the media. अगर आप सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं तो आपकी स्क्रीन पे बॉटम राइट में एक छोटा सा चैट बॉट है, उसमें आप अपना सवाल टाइप कीजिए, अपना नाम एंड टू हु यू वुड लाइक टू एड्रेस दैट क्वेश्चन. तो आप अगर वहां पे टाइप कर दें तो यहाँ वो सवाल मुझे आ जाएगा और फिर मैं हमारे कास्ट एंड क्रू से पूछ लूंगा.
अनुज भाई, मैं एक चीज बोलना चाहूंगा. जितनी भी मीडिया आई है, आप लोग मुझे दिख नहीं रहे, हम सबको दिख नहीं रहे, बिकॉज आई थिंक इस वेबिनार का पैटर्न ऐसा है. मैं आप सबका शुक्रगुजार हूं. आई एम वेरी ग्रेटफुल ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द होल टीम ऑफ अवरोध, Applause, Sony, Irada, that you guys are here. We are very excited, and I want to thank all of you for just being so nice. And I cannot wait for all of us to start interacting and chatting about Avrodh.
Thank you, Amit. So we have Sugandha from IANS who's asking, Amit, what does Avrodh stand for you? आपके लिए क्या मतलब रखता है Avrodh?
मेरे लिए Avrodh तो समीर सर ने आपको जैसे बताया. हाय सुगंधा, आप कैसे हो? इसका एक्चुअल मतलब तो बताया जो अंदर आपकी जो सीज है आपके अंदर की. बट मेरे लिए एक ये विरोध है. अवरोध का मतलब मेरे लिए जो है ना, मेरा जो if you ask me for my characterization or for the character I play or for my meaning of this series is विरोध. You know, किसी आपत्ति का विरोध, किसी you know, और you know, कुछ गलत चीज को नष्ट करने की जो इच्छा है, वो मेरे लिए अवरोध है.
Alright, and एक तरह से आपने वैसे गलत तो नहीं, लेकिन यू हैव आल्सो गॉन अगेंस्ट द टाइड. आपने नॉर्मल टाइड का भी विरोध किया है अपने करियर ग्राफ में. सो कांग्रेचुलेशंस फॉर दैट एंड एवरीथिंग दैट इज लाइंड अप अहेड. वी वर ऑल टॉकिंग अ लिटिल व्हाइल अगो. नीरज सर, आपसे सवाल किया है प्रियंका फ्रॉम दैनिक जागरण. वो पूछना चाहती है कि रियल लाइफ से वो किस फ्रीडम फाइटर की आइडियोलॉजी से रिलेट करते हैं, एंड एक्टर होने के नाते देशभक्ति की डेफिनेशन उनके लिए क्या रही है?
मेरे ख्याल से किसी भी फ्रीडम फाइटर से ये मेरा जो किरदार है वो ताल्लुक नहीं रखता. ये अगर आप मुझे उस तरह से पूछे तो उस वक्त जो नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एडवाइजर थे अजित डोवल साहब 2016 में अंडर द प्राइम मिनिस्टरशिप ऑफ मिस्टर मोदी, उस वक्त जो उन्होंने जो काम किया था, मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा कि उन पर आधारित है मेरा किरदार, लेकिन उनका जो एक जर्नी रहा है उससे ये किरदार प्रभावित है, इतना है. और देशभक्ति का जो सवाल आपने उठाया है, ये तो आप देखेंगे जब आप इस सीरीज को वॉच करेंगे और इसके जो 9 एपिसोड्स हैं, यहाँ आपको ये नजर आएगी कि देशभक्ति क्या है और किस तरह से ये किरदार बार-बार जो बातें कहता है लोगों से, आर्मी ऑफिसर से, या तो अपने ही प्राइम मिनिस्टर से. ये जो तरह-तरह की बातें, एक-एक शब्द अगर आप सुनेंगे, इसमें हर शब्द में, हर लाइन में आपको देशभक्ति की झलक आपको दिखेगी. वो हर बार यही चाहते हैं कि सबसे ऊपर देश है. वो कहते हैं कि नागरिक से भी ऊपर देश है, स्वयं से ऊपर देश है, पहला देश. और जो भी वो मधुरमा की जो कैरेक्टर है, जो किरदार है, उससे भी वो यही बातें करते रहते लगातार. तो ये आपको नजर आएगी उस वक्त.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us. तो of course हमारी बातें तो और अभी करनी है, आपसे सवाल भी काफी पूछने हैं जो मीडिया से मुझे यहाँ पर आए हैं, and I will keep asking those. But मैं इस मौके पर I would like to invite the entire team as well from Sony Live, from Applause, Mr. Ashish, Mr. Sameer, we have Mr. Samar Khan, the showrunner, and of course the authors, journalists, authors of India's Most Fearless, Shiv Arur and Rahul Singh. May I please invite the entire team onto the panel. Welcome. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. और अक्सर, you know, at our civilian level, if I can say, at this platform, हम कई सारी कहानियां और किस्से सुनते हैं हमारे सोल्जर्स की बहादुरी की, उनकी ब्रेवरी की, लेकिन जो इन डेप्थ इंफॉर्मेशन जो होती है, जो फैक्चुअल इंफॉर्मेशन होती है, वो एक तरह से all of you are now responsible for bringing those stories to life to over 1 billion people who are going to watch Avrodh on the 31st of July. So thank you so much for documenting these in your book, Shiv and Rahul, and of course to Sony Live, Applause, and the entire cast and crew for creating this absolutely explosive series, which is based on real life heroes. तो मीडिया के कई सवाल आए हैं, and for our friends in the media, once again मैं आपको बता दूं कि आपकी स्क्रीन के टॉप बॉटम राइट कॉर्नर पे एक चैट बॉट आपको दिखेगा, उसमें आप अपना सवाल टाइप कीजिए. Please type your name and the person you would like to address your question to, and I'll take it up in this panel. Thank you. तो सवाल मैं पूछना चाहूंगा फिलहाल. I would like to ask the authors. This is from Hans India, and for people who are absolutely unfazed by the limelight, how difficult is it to convince the army and Mike Tango to give a nod for this? And at that point, the series must have not been thought for, or did you know about this कि ये होने वाला है?
No, that's a great question, and like Rahul said, that's totally a story in itself. Getting the story, getting the army to trust us with the story was one chapter. The second chapter, or at least the next 10 chapters, would be actually meeting Major Mike, who Amit so ably plays in Avrodh. It was a secret location. It was a multiple number of meetings. And the most amazing part is the first time we met him, it was a 3-hour meeting. And Rahul, I think for the first 1.5 or 2 hours, it was just chit chat. We weren't even talking about what had happened. There was no conversation about the operation itself. He wasn't very forthcoming. So Rahul and I had to muster all our journalistic skills to get the story out. And you're right, Anuj. It's the thing is, the limelight is not something that these people think of at all. This is just pure it's business as usual. It's following orders. It's going into harm's way and doing what you're training to do. And I hear that Avrodh has a lot of stuff about special forces training, which I'm very, very happy about, because believe me, the stuff these guys do to train, you'd be really amazed.
Wow. Rahul, what was the kind of research that went into the book?
Well, a lot of research went into the book. While we told the surgical strikes story with Mike Tango as the hero, that was because the format of our book is such. We were writing about heroes. But every man, we've spoken to Mike Tango's commanding officer. We've spoken to his people he served with to get Mike Tango is, because we had to have Mike Tango in our head very clearly before we started writing about him. So we did a lot of research on Mike Tango himself, apart from researching for the details of the strikes. And to add to what Shiv said, getting Mike Tango to speak about this operation, despite the permissions granted from the very top, was a huge challenge. And at some stage, both of us even got frustrated, saying, "Yaar, ye to baat hi nahi kar raha, ye bata hi nahi raha kuch, kya kare? What to do?" And so the first meeting, the 3-hour meeting, was basically an icebreaker. We were talking about, "Acha, teri favorite picture kaun si hai?" And then he says, "Meri favorite picture ye hai, Vidhata or ye." And that's how I decided to join the army. So that's how it started, and how he grew up in Bombay and all those things. And slowly he started opening up, and then a level of trust was built. And he was very apprehensive about some detail unknowingly being laid out by him, which could result in some kind of a security leak or something. But then we were working with the military operations guys and all that to get all the facts. Just to make sure that we didn't give out more than what was necessary to build this story.
Wonderful. And of course, the two of you being, very specifically as journalists, you focus on a lot of defense and military affairs. So you're closest to the source right there. And this series is capturing a little bit of what you have put up in the book. And congratulations on it being a bestseller and now back again on screen in a way. So thank you so much for this. Our next question, Mr. Sameer Nair, ye aapke liye hai from Kalpana of Media News for You. वो पूछती हैं कि this is a topic on which a movie has already been made. What is different in this series?
Actually, the movie, this story is a little more than just the strike back that happened. There was the Uri attack, and there was the government surgical strike back that happened. I think what we've done with this is we've tried to, delve into what may have happened, what all happened. What was the thinking in the government at the time? What was the thinking in the armed forces at the time? How was the planning done? We are people from the creative business, and a lot of the creative work we do, we refer to it as being larger than life, and it's a work of world of make believe. But honestly, when you tell a story of this kind, it's a truly humbling experience, because you realize that actually what the armed forces and the running the country takes is way bigger than any of the larger than life stuff that we create on screen. So while Amit has done an amazing job of playing Mike Tango, all the hard work that he put into it makes you realize what the real Mike Tango might have actually done, right? I mean, when we have a dramatic moment in the thing, when they are behind enemy lines, when you think about it and say that this happened for real, it sort of heightens the actual drama of it. So I think the series goes way deeper than what the movie was. It's obviously in the same space. It's a moment of great pride for India, and we want to tell that story. I think a lot more such stories of homeland security, of our armed forces, of our political establishment, and what we do to defend ourselves should be told. So yeah, it's a delightful watch. I hope everyone likes it.
Wonderful, thank you. And talking about national security, of course, homeland security, we have the next question from Heer Kothari of the Free Press Journal. This is for Samar Khan. She asks, State of Siege was based on 9/11, but for security reasons, the character names were changed. So has the same thing been done for Avrodh?
Hi, here. Yes, we have also done the same thing. I mean, we have used certain names which are in public domain, and certain names which obviously we didn't want to use have been changed. So it's a mix of the two. We are calling our character Major Mike Tango because that's in public domain, and everybody knew his that's his call sign. But obviously, we're not giving out any real names of soldiers. And if you see that the series has been seen and cleared by military intelligence. So because we had the help of the army, so the series has been seen and cleared by military intelligence. So whatever they wanted us to take precautions and whatever they wanted us not to show, we have kept that completely aligned with them. So it's all been seen by them and they've cleared it. So to answer your question, yes, we have taken adequate care that we do not give out any national secret or a national security kind of thing. So it's a mix of real names and fictitious names that we've come up with.
I mean, in the world of entertainment, I think this is the highest level of quality check and content check that you can go through, really. Approval itself from the high command there. So this question has come in for Samar and of course the entire team. Sabko pucha gaya hai ki the trailer looks amazing, but how's the Josh retained in this series?
Mike, can I answer that?
Yes, please.
Koi shak.
That's the lingo that we have used through the show, because I mean that's also a very popular line in the armed forces, and especially with the special forces, where once you're given an instruction, and you say yes sir, and the commanding officer always asks you koi shak. You're always supposed to say no. You can't say koi shak hai tumhe. You just got the orders. You just got to do what you have to do.
All right. Shiv has had to log out. He had a prior commitment. So we have Rahul here. Yes, Amit, bataiye.
I also want to tell you, Samar used to do that to us and make us shoot. He used to say "Kui shak," and we had to say no sir and shoot.
बस अगला शो जो समर रन करेंगे वो काश बड़ा कंफ्यूज हो जाएगा ये चल क्या रहा है.
I'm just kidding.
All right. So like I said, Shiv had to log out, but of course we have Rahul here and he's representing Shiv as well for the questions that are going to come in. But right now, the next question comes in from Shrabanti of ABP. This is for Madhurima. And Shrabanti asks, Madhurima, you're playing a media person. How much reference have you taken from us?
Honestly, I've taken a lot of reference. I have seen a lot of reporting shows, all the channels. मैंने सारे channels में ध्यान से देखा है, हर reporter को देखा है, उनके काफी nuances को मैंने पकड़ा है. But in the end, you have to play yourself and how you convince the audience that okay, she is a reporter. But definitely, I saw a lot of shows. आज तक हो गया, ABP हो गया, सारे shows को देखा है, and I thoroughly enjoyed playing the journalist. I hope I've done justice because I am the amalgamation of Shiv sir and Rahul sir. It's like a combination of both of them. So it was completely an honor, and hopefully let's see how it comes out.
Good luck to you. Thank you. Neeraj sir, you've answered this question to a certain degree a little while ago, but we have a question from another friend of the media. How is your character different from the one you've played in Patal Lok, in Sanskaran, and बाकी जो characters हैं? Can you give us a little bit more about your character? What sets this one apart?
Well, I've already said a little bit of this in my earlier answer, but to slightly elaborate on this character is a very responsible character. So in Patal Lok as well, I play media tycoon, but this is a state responsibility, a government responsibility. So, there's something that this character carries on his shoulder and his mind, which is far larger, far bigger than probably any of my characters have carried so far. So that sets it slightly apart from what I've played earlier. And because of this huge responsibility, you play the character in a particular way, and there are nuances that you have to be very careful with, because you're playing a responsibility that exists in the government. There is a space called the National Security Advisor. I can't play it the way I want to. There is a particular morality to it and ethics to it. Everything is involved in it. So it's very delicate how you play this. It's not about how you say the lines. It's about what is the subtext with which you are saying everything, and what does it in a larger context mean, because that's what he is all about. Any decision he takes, this character, any word he says, has a complete plural effect on the entire nation and its relationships with other nations. So he has to be very careful, not with what he's saying only, but how is he saying it. So that's where the study of the script comes in, and that's where the character becomes very huge. And and if you see the character slightly, he's got a slight hunch continuously, almost burdened with what he has gone through. He almost looks like a retired army officer himself at the end of it.
Wow.
Because he had been the Director General of the Intelligence, and then he took up this entire huge responsibility. And the Prime Minister listens to him in everything, in every decision. So that's where he is. You know, he's such an important element of the country.
Wow. That question was from Sanskaran of Ajkal from Kolkata. But considering the hunch, Neeraj sir, did you do any exercises with Darshan and Amit on the sets, or were you just hunching all through?
I did 3 exercises of Darshan and Amit. What they did, I did the opposite to create my hunch. Although, you know, funny,
Right.
I myself keep myself
the
very
hunchback.
fit. I work on a lot of exercises every single day. As an actor, I train myself
Ji,
every day,
ji,
regardless of
ji.
the role. So these roles become even more difficult for me because I'm fit that way. And then to play something
Yes.
which is very unfit, very heavy, that becomes very exciting, actually. That's what acting takes you into that high, as to how you convince the audience with what you're doing.
Excellent, excellent. The next question from Pooja Samant. Darshan, Amit, Madhurima, what tempted you to sign the show? Darshan, let's begin with you.
Okay. Actually, the story had me hooked. I was, I was deeply affected by the incident and the story which I read, and it made me, feel patriotic. And at some point during one's formative years, every childhood wants to join the army, and child feel like to join the army, and I had the same kind of feeling. And after reading the script and the entire character and about the journey of that character, I it gave me different kind of high, and I felt the same, like, to join army again. So Avrodh is it's a real story, and edge of your seat, you can say entertaining. So it's like, it gave me a different kind of kick to work hard for this character and to work in this, and especially the beautiful cast, so talented cast, and it is produced by Applause, Samir sir and Sam sir. So it was amazing that अब सारी चीज मिलके ये बनी है. तो I was so excited right from the beginning.
Lovely, and of course you've walked away with a very enriching experience. As an actor, as a human being, of course. So, the show has a lot to do with it. Thank you, Madhurima. आप बताइए, what was that moment when you said ये show तो करना ही है?
Honestly, it's an honor. I mean, it's a tribute to our Indian Army. So not being a part of it will be like मैं पागल हूँ. So I wanted to be a part of it because it's like an honor to be a part of this show, because obviously we have no idea what our army is going through, the kind of courage they have, they display on the field. So just being a part of it, just whatever the role is, I mean, I think I'm very happy and glad, and I would say thank you, Samar sir, Samir sir, everybody, the entire Applause team, to make me a part, and if the Sony Live to give this platform. So I am thrilled to be a part.
Amit, what was your clincher?
I will need some time on this. So firstly, coming back to, you said greed and temptation. Before I come that, I will tell you the bonus. One of the bonuses of being a part of Avrodh is going back to talking about Darshan. He has worked so hard in it, and I think I found a friend, and what has inspired me collaborating with him, being shoulder to shoulder on this series, because we both have spent a lot of time, is his innocence, his hard work for the craft, his honesty. And this man doesn't act for himself. He acts not for the other actor, he acts for the whole scene. So I'm sorry I digressed, but by now you know I have that problem. Coming back to, I would like to share a short story. My dad always wanted me to join the army. My upbringing has been military. I went to La Martiniere. I have all my life marched for dinner, lunch, and when our march past halt was not right, we were not given food, we were given PD. So I've been trained, you know, NCC, CATC camps, 303s. And I don't want to go into details, but I could not join the army. Things happened. And my acting career started. A couple of years back, there was an army story that came to me, another war hero. And I did the whole research, met the family, met the whole drill started, and that movie didn't come to me. And I was so disheartened because that was not an acting assignment for me. I was so eager to give a tribute to my dad and tell him that, you know what, at least I fulfilled like a part of the dream. At least I got the uniform. Long story short, Samar Khan, very dear friend, walks in, gives me Avrodh, gives me to play Mike Tango. Sameer Nair, Sameer sir has been a mentor since my first serial, Kyun Hota Hai Pyar. Sameer sir backs us, you know, and we get to make Avrodh. I get to play Mike Tango, you know, and the amazing cast is here. There are other gems which are not here. And so I don't know. I don't know about greed. I don't know about temptation. I just feel this is a gift from God that I can dedicate this to the country, to the armed forces, to my entire team, but to my dad as well. And this is beyond any greed. This is beyond any expectations. I'm just very grateful to each and every one of you, Sameer sir, Shiv, Rahul, my cast, my crew, Samar. Samar, I'm grateful to you for life. And before I go, I want to take another name. I want to thank my director, Raj Purohit, the way he has etched us, helped us stay intact into our characters. Like Madhurima said, all our characters are so difficult that one thin line, I think Neeraj sir said that as well. If we deviate, we need to bring back, because this is not an acting assignment or a project where we are playing characters where we can improvise or, you know, falter astray and come back. This is very thin line for every character. So a huge credit to the writers, Shiv and Rahul, and also our writers who kind of adapted this. But my biggest thank you to my director, Raj Purohit, as well. And to all of you, thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. I mean, of course, we're missing Raj. He couldn't join us this afternoon for the launch, but good luck to him. Our wishes to him. We've got, Amit, the question from Somik Datta of Wise Movie Reviews. You've, of course, got a plethora of releases coming up, and, you know, some great work you've done in the past. So big screen, television, web series, what have you found as the differentiating factor?
Good people, honest people, hardworking people, people creating equal values for everybody. And I can definitely say this about Sameer sir, about people at Sony Live, and the actors that I worked with. They set the tone. And wherever there is this ecosystem, I'll be humbled and I would want to be a part of that.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. So we are kind of running a little tight on time. I've got a question for Ashish sir now. And of course, congratulations to the entire team. Ashish sir, Sony Live 2.0, Big Bang Avatar, 2 absolutely brilliant series just came up. The third one coming in now. What is, I mean, I think you're one of the bright sparks in otherwise what 2020 has been, you know, a dismal year. So what's coming up ahead? How are you going to keep our spirits up with Sony Live through the rest of 2020?
So lots of excitement coming your way. You know, as I said earlier, you know, we are a new player, and you know, we want to kind of be humble about, you know, whatever stories that we are kind of bringing. But trust me, some great stuff is on your way. We have, the kind of shows, two of them you've already seen. The third one is going to go live in the next few days. And then there are some, I can't divulge. I think we'll have to meet again for those shows. But, from Applause particularly, there is one more big one that's, going to come in the next 1 month, maybe slightly more than a month. And then there is a lot of action from TVF. You've loved Good Luck, so that's going. The season 2 of that is going to come back. Some really good stuff from TVF is going to come. There are other shows also. I can't divulge right now. They're all in production, but some really passionate and good makers are helming some really good stories. We're really proud of those stories, and those are some. These are the stories that India always, I think, craved for, wanted to listen to them, and finally we are lucky to kind of pick them up and put them in front of you. Hopefully, in the next 1 year, a lot of good stuff from English content. I think you will see a lot of there are a lot of good stuff that's in any case live on the app. Some marquee properties like Good Doctor. The further next season is going to go live soon. So a lot of action on that front as well. Yeah, I think overall, you rightly said, Anuj, the year for everyone. I think it's a tough year for all of us. But there are always for silver lining for us is that the app so far has got received well, both by critics as well as the consumers, and we are very happy. And of course, that makes us even more conscious about the fact that we have to really work harder than what we are doing, and we are ready for that. And yeah, challenging things, but super excited. Thanks, Anuj.
Thank you, sir. So with that, I think we wrap up this session now. Once again, congratulations to the entire team for Avrodh. All of you really salute all of you for your hard work, and of course, salute to the Indian Army for continuing to be there for us, watching over us, watching out for us. Thank you so much. I can't wait to binge watch it on 31st July on a Sony Live app on one of my devices. I have it installed all over. So thank you, members of the media, friends, well-wishers, जो आज वक्त निकाल कर आप हमारे साथ यहाँ शामिल हुए, and we look forward to your response to the show and hope to see you another time soon. And this is Anuj Gurwara signing out. Stay safe, stay healthy, have a wonderful rest of the year. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Thank you. Yes.